Hey everybody, what a beautiful day to be outside. Bright sunshine, it's going to be up into the 60s. Point of this video today is to go over some of the things that you can do to a bow. Perhaps you have a bow that's several years old at this point. You don't quite have maybe the funds to completely upgrade your bow to a new model, but you would like to make some changes that are substantial, that really do make an impact on how the bow performs. We're in the business of offering products that give you that. So let's look at some of the things that can be done. I have a 2015 Bowtech Prodigy here, and what brought about the idea to do this video was the fact that I had someone contacting me discussing options for side stabilizer mounting. And of course, you may or may not know, but it's important to note, you can always, of course, use our side stabilizer mount on front bushing. You just have to reverse the bracket around in some cases, the riser bracket. It has two-way capability. So you always can do that. But the ideal location, as I've said time and time again in many videos, is that you mount it on the lower portion of the riser, rear facing. Some bows don't have that. This bow in particular did not have, from the factory, at least designed ahead of time, pre-tapped hole that was intended to be used for a side stabilizer mount. However, on the lower portion of the riser, rear facing, it did have a drilled and tapped hole for this limb damper system that it has one on the top and it had one on the bottom. I took that off, took the damper off, and then underneath you had a T30 Torx head screw. Remove that and you get to seeing where you have this drilled and tapped hole. It happens to be 1/4 20 thread. Got myself hex head bolt, 3/4 inch length. You can see it sticks out just a little bit on the back side there, not much. And got a lock washer, and determined that really the best way to mount it was to have the bracket rotated around so that the channel is facing out, and then having the bolt recessed down into that channel, and then using a socket wrench 7/16 to tighten that down on top of that lock washer. And man, what a phenomenal hole. What a neat, clever little way to utilize our product on a bow where it wasn't designed to be used that way, and it gives you the ideal location. So another thing I want to talk about with an older bow, what you could do to upgrade. Now, I'm not suggesting that somebody do all of these things at once. Maybe that would be beyond your budget as well. But there are several things you could do. Now, these are items that I literally pulled right off of our clearance section area. So we have a number of items that are kept in clearance because of perhaps small cosmetic defects, or maybe they were lightly used for test purposes, something like that. So what I have here are two stabilizers that are Hybrid Pros. Both of these are in current inventory for clearance, so they're reduced down greatly. This is a 6-inch Hybrid Pro, and we have a 10-inch Hybrid Pro on here. I have a front QD. This is a Gen 3 QD, brand new release, completely indexable, has a module that pops out the front. It's a super cool little product. That is also in clearance, along with a bunch of others of these QDs. You may not be able to see, but the powder coating came out a little light through here, and that's why this one is on clearance. But functionality is perfect. So it's an ideal add to your bow to get better performance. String stop, as people well know, especially Bowtech owners, we've sold, I think, more string stops for Bowtech. I would say we sold more for Bowtech and Matthews, certainly combined, than anybody by far than any other models. Probably all models combined do not exceed what we've sold just for Bowtech and Matthews. We've sold probably the most for Bowtech out of those two top. And this here is one that was previously being used for test purposes. You know, so I put in a carbon rod that's a little nicked up. I have a coupler here that had been used on some other bows for testing and things. But I just wanted to put it on to illustrate that even if you get something that has a little bit of cosmetic defect in it, that has no bearing on how it performs. This is a massive upgrade to this bow. Sidebar. You have a really great front bar. You have a quick disconnect that's awesome. And you have the string stop on here. So that's a way to upgrade an older bow without buying, or having to spend the entire amount to get the new bow. If you have everything else in sufficiently good condition, your strings, your cables, etc., your limbs are still obviously in good shape and not having any kind of cracking or splintering or anything like that, then you're in a position to be able to get a lot more life out of a bow like this. Tune it back up, get it shooting even better than it ever did. So that's my spiel, that's my speech for today, just to think about things that way, to consider our products, consider clearance items maybe, because they are reduced significantly and you can save, and they're ideal for an older bow. So pretty stoked about this. I think it's a cool setup, especially how this sidebar mount fitted on here. I think that was really neat. And another thing I'll be looking at here at some point in time is their roller guard system. I have some ideas for how we can adapt our existing components for our titanium cable guard to be used on bows like this. It will require possibly some modifications on the existing components we use, at least one of them, but it could happen. I could see that happening. So I'll be playing with that a little bit as time moves on here into the summer, depending on how busy I get. There's always something to do. Always something to do running a company like this. Take care, everybody. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support. It means so much to me. It really does. And I don't know if I express that fully. I don't know if I give people all the credit they're due for supporting all of this and helping this to run the way it has and to keep it afloat and to make my job very meaningful, very rewarding, and very fun. There are times where, there's really no time that I'm not carrying a lot of weight on my shoulders, a lot of stress, because I see the success of the business as 100% my responsibility, and that is a lot of weight to hold. But nonetheless, it's still an enjoyable job to have, and you guys make that possible. So thank you. Take care. TitaniumArcheryProducts.com is where you go if you want to see all of our products.